feeling. This place is jumping off hard as it can get. No, we won't ever stop dancing on the edge. We like it dangerous, we like to see you split. Turn up another notch, you ain't seen nothing yet. Let me tell you something, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, let me tell you something. Right now, right now. Right now, right now. Right now, right now. Right now, right now. Got a real good feeling. Got a real good feeling. Like there is lightning deep in my bones. Got a real good feeling. I won't hit no ceiling. I'm going higher than I've ever known. Yeah, I got a real good feeling. I won't hit no ceiling. Like there is lightning deep in my bones. Got a real good feeling. I won't hit no ceiling. I'm going higher than I've ever known. Got a real good feeling. Right now, right now. 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 Oh, I got a real good feeling. Got a real good feeling. Like there is lightning deep in my bones. Yeah, I got a real good feeling. I won't hit no ceiling. I'm going higher than I've ever known. Yeah, I got a real good feeling. Got a real good feeling. Like there is lightning deep in my bones. Yeah, I got a real good feeling. I won't hit no ceiling. I'm going higher than I've ever known. I got a real good feeling.
Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and in today's video, we are going to be doing some technical analysis on Ethereum and Cardano. We're going to be going over some big updates about Ethereum and the Alonzo update on Cardano, and we're also going to be doing a bit of a deep dive into Solana, a new cryptocurrency project that has a new way of consensus, and we're going to be discussing all of that and more in today's live stream. Guys, we have a lot of technical analysis to do, a lot of fundamentals to go over. I think you're going to really enjoy today's stream. I'm so glad to be back. Tim did a fantastic job yesterday, and I thought our guest was really great yesterday. Actually, our guest is producing the show today, but we'll get to that in a second. I am joined, as always, by your president and my co-host, Kinda Crypto Tim. How you doing, Tim?
What's up, everybody? I have a spoiler for everyone. That was Smay doing the voice of the Bitcoin Pillow, and we are seriously considering a recast.
No.
Again, the Pillow was genius.
That's impossible.
The voice, we're going to have to do better, Smay. We're going to have to do better.
Well, Smay's not in the room. He's not here right now. The Pillow is, though. We are joined, as always, by our producing Pillow, your one and only Bitcoin. How are you doing, Bitcoin? Yeah, okay, cool. So, guys, we have a great show lined up today, so tell us what you thought about that. That was a really hot take. I don't know if we can air that, but yeah, we'll leave it there.
I've heard that only people who are intelligent can hear that voice.
Gotcha.
So that's
No, well, I heard it. Did you?
Yeah, the problem is I didn't, so that's
Oh.
confirming.
Yeah, I didn't mean to set you up like that. I thought you actually did.
Yeah.
Okay, well, he's lying. He's just trying to be humble. He did hear it all. So if you didn't, then I don't know what to tell you. But guys, we have some technical analysis that we need to do on your favorite cryptocurrency. Maybe not. Ethereum. Let's do it, guys. There is some interesting developments going on this cryptocurrency, so let's go ahead and jump onto the chart. Guys, as you know, Ethereum hit an all-time high of over $4,500 just a little while ago. It was actually $4,400, so I suppose I just lied, didn't I? I didn't mean to. It was an accident. In 11 days, Ethereum dropped 60%. Ever since then, Ethereum has been trading sideways in what a technical analyst might call a symmetrical triangle pattern, with a downtrending level of resistance right here, which you can argue is a flat level of resistance. I will get to that caveat in a second, and an uptrending level of support right here. We've got this other color here that Tim set up on my chart. I'm going to have to change that back to my colors, red and blue. But this symmetrical triangle pattern or ascending triangle pattern, depending on how you look at it, you can draw this flat or you can draw this to perfectly match the candle bodies. Doesn't really matter. The point is we are in symmetrical consolidation here on Ethereum. The question now is, where does Ethereum go next? So let's look at some different technicals. Number one, Ethereum is below the 20 daily exponential moving average. That means that as of right now, we are still technically speaking in a downtrend. For Ethereum to rally back up above this, it would mean that we would likely be going into a new uptrend. For anyone who's looking to enter a long position on Ethereum, I would be hesitant to do it anything before $2,900, and quite frankly, if you're trying to be more conservative, anything before $3,100, because entering a long trade right below a big even like $3,000 is not always the best option. You can end up buying the top by doing that. But as we look down here on some other technical indicators, we can see that the MACD is technically speaking bullish on Ethereum. Now, you might be wondering, Jeb, why are we bearish on the 20 daily EMA and bullish on the MACD? Well, that brings up an interesting relationship. We're below the 20 daily EMA, but above the zero level on the MACD. Reason for that is that the MACD tends to trend towards zero. The 20 daily exponential moving average tends to trend towards the price. There's a big difference there. The zero level on the MACD is a flat, fixed level. Right now, Ethereum is bullish on the MACD because MACD fell below the zero level and it's attempting to rally back up here. Even so long as Ethereum continues trading sideways, we will remain bullish. But if we go into so much as a small corrective movement on Ethereum, we'll likely see another bearish cross on MACD. So MACD you can look at as trading sideways right now and really in need of decision. We haven't come to a concrete consensus on where Ethereum's MACD is going to go just yet. However, if we look down here on the RSI, we can see that the RSI is trading sideways around 45 as well. What I'm seeing here, guys, is that as these oscillators and as these moving averages are trading sideways with the market, I think we are setting a strong foundation. If we look at the VPVR, we will see that we are building strong support up here in between $2,000 and $3,000. This is very important. This block of support right here is going to be a foundation from which Ethereum could potentially build moving on into the future. You have to build a tall building on a solid foundation, or the tall building won't stay tall for very long. Ethereum is now building that foundation, and of course there's a certain order to construction. You got to build the foundation before you can start putting the roof on the thing. Isn't that right? So right now that's what Ethereum is doing. It's trading sideways. I think that the reason it's trading sideways is because it has found a bottom above $1,500, $2,000, somewhere in there. I'm not saying that we can't have another correction, but I do think that we found at least somewhere that Ethereum is capable of trading sideways, feeling healthy, consolidating, and building strong support for the long run. So that's my take on that. As far as what's going to happen over the next couple of days, that really is determined by how Ethereum responds to this 20 daily EMA that's sitting just about $100 above it right now at $2,670. If we reject off of that, we're going to correct a little bit. If we break through it, we're going to rally a little bit. I would caution a trader from entering a long or a short trade in sideways consolidation, because if you do that, then you're not really basing a trade off of anything, because the market is almost just as much bullish as it is bearish, and the odds are in your favor for neither of them. So this is a place that investors should really be getting excited, not so much the day trader. So that's my take on Ethereum. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. And Tim, what are you thinking about that? What do you think is going to happen with Ethereum, bud?
Yeah, ultimately, I mean, based off of fundamentals, there's a lot of things that I like about Ethereum. Also, interesting thing, I was playing around on CT2A, went through the whole course. I'm officially a graduate of CT2A, but I was playing on it again yesterday. And I was looking at the Fibonacci levels, right? Mm-hmm. And I was looking at a lot of different charts. But what we would find very interesting, if you go back, and you guys can't see my screen, so if Jeb wants to do this, he can. I don't know if he is for sure, because I can't see what he's doing live.
I can track.
If you go back and start the Fibonacci on September 4th, which looks like a good little bottom place, beginning this bull cycle, and then you take us all the way to the top, and you look at that 0.618 symbol, which if you're a CT2A graduate, you would know happens quite frequently. You're going to find that level be right where we just bottomed out at. So
it's up on my chart. In fact, as you guys can see, if we're on my chart, 61.8, I also go ahead and on my Fibonacci, I add in here, because if you click on Fibonacci, you can add different levels. I add in 0.65. The reason for that is that there is a very special area in Fibonacci called the golden pocket. It's between 0.618, which is the inverse of phi, which is the golden ratio for any mathematicians in the house, and 0.618 to 0.65 we call the golden pocket because generally speaking, the market will reverse somewhere around that golden pocket. Notice our corrections down here on the candle wicks pulled back down into 0.65 right here, 0.618 right here. Generally speaking, the market will correct up to 0.618 times. That is 61.8%. Notice if we pull our market from all the way up here, we pulled back just at about 60%, and that makes sense because this was such a major rally. Here's the thing, guys. I actually want to back this up a little bit. I will show you on Bitcoin the power of this level, and I'll show you the power of why technical analysis is so important. Take a look at this market back here.
Bitcoin or Ethereum?
I'm on Bitcoin right now just to show them this.
Oh, I was delayed. Okay, got it.
Yeah. So on Bitcoin, you can see that different Fibonacci levels end up being the tops of different markets. Notice right here, Bitcoin rallied all the way up to 38.2. You might realize that that is the inverse of 61.8. It is the other half of the 61.8 that got left out. That's exactly where the market topped out at right here. Let's look at putting this market as the top and extrapolating. Oh, look at that. The market rallied all the way up to the 61.8% Fibonacci golden pocket right here. We're looking back in 2018's bear market for anyone who wants to follow along. Look at this correction. If we draw from top to bottom, the market rallied right into that 61.8%. In fact, I can keep going here. The market is cyclical, guys. Notice we didn't quite get there, but we got very close in this instance. It's very important that you pay attention to technical analysis. And by the way, if you'd like to learn more about technical analysis, that's why I created an entire academy teaching you how to do these things. If you'd like to learn more, the link is in the description box down below. It's called the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy. Drop a 1 in chat if you've been through it. Tim seems to love it.
Love it.
Yep.
Love it, love it.
Guys, if you were enjoying today's stream, let's see some likes on this video. Let's see if we can get to like 500 likes here really quickly. And by the way, go ahead and say hello to the Bitcoin fellow, I guess. I love how you switched the camera so that it's pointed at that. That's pretty great, Smay.
Oh my gosh.
Let's read a couple super chats, and we're going to move on to some Cardano here.
Yes. There's actually...
Smay's not here.
Smay's not here? Oh, okay.
Okay,
All right, Bitcoin fellow.
All right, Frank Abbott, great question. He asked, do you sell into U.S. dollars or stable coins, and why?
Normally into stable coins just because it's easier because of whatever exchange you're on. Normally, the trading pair is over a stable coin rather than U.S. dollars. So that would be what I do, and that would be why.
Yeah. The next one, and again, this is something we were talking about a little bit before, and while Jeb gives his take on it, I'm going to do even a little more research. Matt C. Again, Matt C., you're the GOAT of giving.
Seriously.
He said, hey, Jeb, what is the difference between Solana's proof of history versus Cardano's and soon-to-be Ethereum's proof of stake, and why is it important? So just so you guys know, we're going to be talking about Solana a little bit later, but I want to answer that question as best we can right now.
Yeah, so guys, I actually have an article here that I can show you because this is something that we're going to talk about a little bit later, so I'm not going to go into too much detail right now. But for anyone who wants to read into what proof of history is, I will direct you in the direction of this Medium article. It's called Proof of History, A Clock for Blockchain. We're going to be going over this a little bit more later as we get on into Solana. Matt, see, you jumped the gun a little bit. I appreciate the donation, friend, so stick around. We are going to be talking about that more here in just a little bit because segment 2 is going to be about Solana. If there are any other questions, let's read them. But otherwise, we're going to move on to some Cardano TA, and then we have some fundamentals to go over. What do we got?
Yeah, I got a lot of people echoing about CT2A, how great it is.
Good.
Again, if you guys have any questions about that, don't feel or don't hesitate to ask us questions in chat about CT2A. I'm sure not even us, you could listen to some of these people talking and get their take on what happens there. It is phenomenal. Let's see. Other thoughts here. I think this is a good question, but I don't want to misrepresent it. So if this is not what you're asking, hold on, I'm trying to find it. I was going back up to it. If this is not what you're asking, let me know. Somebody asked why you don't. I think they're talking about Fibonacci, which we just talked about Fibonacci. So I don't know if he's saying why don't you do it more often. But yeah, I don't want to misrepresent it. So let's go ahead and move on.
All right, well, let's go ahead and do some Cardano technical analysis. I know you guys are interested in what's going on ADA, and give us a 7 in chat if you'd like to see some Bitcoin technical analysis later on in this show, because I know there's some updates over on BTC that I think you guys would be interested in. Let's start, though, with some Cardano TA. Guys, Cardano is in sideways consolidation the same way as Ethereum, but it actually had a rising wedge formation. This is something we teach in the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy, are these rising wedges, and I talk about in in CT2A how these, generally speaking, will break bearish. Why? Well, whenever you see the market go into a rally like this, into this pattern, statistically, based on historical analysis of this pattern over hundreds of different markets, over hundreds of different charts, analysts have found that about 70% of the time they will break bearish. Now, why is that? I can't tell you, but I can tell you that it is a statistical anomaly that we need to remember in our trading. Generally speaking, symmetrical triangle patterns will break either up or down depending on the way the market moved into them, and wedges will break in the opposite direction they're pointing. So this wedge is pointing up. Technical analysis says it should break down. It broke down. Very important, very interesting. So here's the thing about Cardano. Yes, we broke down, but we actually still maintained a higher low. Before, on the 29th of May, we pulled down to $1.35. As of today, we pulled down to $1.45. As of yesterday, excuse me. That means that Cardano is still managing to set higher highs and higher lows. If we get rid of this, then you'll notice that Cardano broke bearish out of that wedge, yes, but we're actually in somewhat of an upwards trading channel. That is a good thing for Cardano. What that means is that we're consolidating, but the bulls are winning just a little bit more than the bears. How do we know that? Because we have uptrending levels of resistance and uptrending levels of support. It's very important that we look at the technicals and we figure out what they mean, not just what they're saying. So a technical might say, oh, we're supposed to break bullish or we're supposed to break bearish, but what does it mean about the underlying motivations of the bulls and the bears? Well, right now, based on our trend lines here, we can see that the bulls seem to be a little bit stronger than the bears on Cardano. That is important foundational knowledge as we continue in our technical analysis here. One thing to point out is that Cardano actually broke out and it rallied to $1.65 over the last couple of days and rejected off the 20-daily EMA. That means that Cardano is still technically bearish at the moment, but I want to show you this. Notice how we're above and below the 20-daily EMA quite a bit as of late. We've been above it once, twice. We've been below it 1, 2, 3 times. That signifies that we are still in that sideways movement, and until we are significantly either consistently above or below, we really don't know which direction Cardano is going. This is what I was talking about on Ethereum. Right now, this is not exactly traders' delight, but it most certainly is investors' delight. As we've corrected it, we're roughly 50% down from the all-time high, and this is a position that if you really believe in the project, you could consider getting in for the long term. I've used this analogy before. I talked about this on Around the Blockchain on Tuesday. I like to show you guys two different ways of making money, trading and investing. Now, you guys know I am predominantly an investor at this point in my career, but you can make a lot of money in both. What I want to bring to your attention is that right now, this guy over here, the trading game, is not necessarily as obviously profitable. Now, a high-functioning trader can make money in any kind of market, but it's not so obvious what the trend is. When there's not a clear trend, it's hard to make a trade based on a trend, which is normally how the trade is supposed to be made, right? So I'm directing your attention in this market climate over here to that investing category, and that's what I think we ought to be looking at right now. Few more things on Cardano, and then we're going to move on here. Cardano is bearish on the MACD, but it is really trading sideways also. Notice how MACD is moving to the sideways direction and has been for the last couple of weeks. This is something that we want to see change until before we start moving into any kind of trading positions. We want to see a clearly defined trend, such as this. That's a clearly defined trend. That's a clearly defined trend. This, my friends, is not. So be careful if you're looking to trade this market. You can still do it if you know what you're doing, but it's not as easy pickings as you might say. It's a bit like trying to find fruit in the forest in winter. You're not going to find as many as you would if you were out there during the summer. So let's go ahead and read chat and see what people are saying. And then we have a couple of articles coming from Ethereum's developer and founder, Vitalik Buterin. And then we also have some things to do with Alonzo over on Cardano.
Yeah, so Across Canada asked, he said, thanks, Jeb. And then, do you think Ethereum will drop to the $1,900 or lower area as some technical analysis has predicted? Thank you.
Well, let's take a look at that really quickly. $1,900 on Ethereum. I'm going to go ahead and draw a horizontal level right there to represent that, and then I will look for reasons why the other analysts might be seeing that. Let us see. So, $1,900. Well, guys, $1,900 to around $1,950 is that exact zone that we were talking about earlier that Tim found. That is the level of the Fibonacci pocket. The Fibonacci pocket, as you can see right here, is in between 1739 and 1870. It's a little bit below $1,900, but it's right there in that range. Can Ethereum drop down there? Well, let me point your attention to Bitcoin. Bitcoin was in a symmetrical triangle pattern right here, and then it broke bearish and then pulled back down into what was essentially a Fibonacci pocket. Bitcoin did exactly that. If Bitcoin did it, it's very possible that Ethereum could do it. Do I think it's most likely? it's hard to say right now, to be honest with you, because we are trading sideways. I don't think that's going to happen. We did just see the same thing happen on Bitcoin, where we were in a symmetrical triangle pattern right here. We set a level of support earlier. We broke bearish, and then we went down and tested it a second time. But notice what Bitcoin did, and this is what we're going to talk about a little bit later if you guys are interested. It rallied. It bounced. It held support. So if Ethereum does that, I highly suspect that it won't stay down there for long.
Yeah. Cool. Well, even that, like, you know, even backing up, not that this changes the argument, but another thing that we have looked at recently, again, going through CT2A, this isn't even on CT2A. I'm assuming it'll probably come here shortly as we do more research on it. But even if you look at the hash ribbons indicator, we saw the last buy signal. I mean, I have a lot to learn here. This is just observation. And again, you can't see my thing, so if he's looking at it on his,
I have hash ribbons
that's
up.
different. You're going to see these buy signals all over the place, and you rarely see the price ever drop below where a previous buy signal was, and if it does, it barely goes below it and then comes back up. So the last time we had a buy signal was on the 17th of May, which I think was when Ethereum was sitting at 1900. So could Ethereum get, according to even that right there, could it get to 1900? Potentially, but it probably will not do it again. The other thing about that hash ribbon thing is we're seeing this across the entire crypto market, is the fact that on when we see that capitulation thing, the red come up showing the capitulation, we almost always see a buy signal right after it, and we see a small little growth. That is happening not only in Bitcoin, but also in Ethereum, Cardano. I saw it in Chiliz, Tron, almost the entire crypto market right now is in capitulation, and we should be seeing in the next couple of weeks a buy signal flash.
I think so.
Which is another reason for me to think, again, Jeb is wise, and he knows way more than I do about that thought of, hey, don't necessarily just go all in on Ethereum, because we could see a downside. However, there's a lot of indicators showing that we are primed to move to the upside, and that's just indicators. That's not even talking about the fact that we are literally a month away from seeing what's going to happen with the London fork that had been awaited for a long time. We see a lot of excitement in terms of, even though people are pooping on Bitcoin to say this, we see a lot of institutions actually saying we prefer Ethereum to Bitcoin. So again, do we need to pit the two projects against each other? No, absolutely not. But if a lot of institutions are really interested in Ethereum and they're getting involved in Ethereum,
which they are,
we should be seeing that price go up. But again, I think it's good to kind of sit and wait until we make a final decision.
Yeah. And real quick, guys, I'm actually looking for buy signals on another indicator I use. It's called Lux Algo. You can see here on Ethereum, it perfectly called the top here on the Ethereum market with a sell signal. Check that out. Look at how great this is, guys. This is on default settings. If you're interested in this indicator, this is an indicator that sponsors our channel. The only reason it sponsors our channel is because it works. Otherwise, they would not be a sponsor of this channel. But I have found it to be pretty useful in my technical analysis. If it's something you're interested in, you should check out the link in the description box down below. You can get $20 off with coupon code JEB. But here's the deal, guys. Smash that like button, because we are about to go into some news. Not really news, but opinion about Ethereum. This happened a little while ago, but it's something that you should be aware of. And before we go into this, I want to reiterate my stance on opinion pieces. What people say doesn't matter. Who the person that is saying it doesn't really matter. What they are saying is what matters. Ethereum's founder himself can say, oh, well, I think Ethereum 2.0 is going to be delayed. It doesn't matter if the facts aren't on his side. However, they are. So we want to go ahead and read this. Ethereum's billionaire founder admits Ethereum 2.0 is delayed. By the way, Vitalik Buterin made like $4.4 million on Dogecoin. He bought $25,000 worth of Dogecoin, and then it turned into a bunch because he, bet the farm on it. But either way, probably not going to happen again. I just thought that was funny. The upcoming release of Ethereum 2.0 has never been more critical after the growing criticism of energy consumption by proof-of-work blockchains like Bitcoin increase. Ethereum also uses the POW model, so the blockchain consumes an energy equivalent of Hong Kong, according to Digiconomist. Comparatively, Ethereum's 2.0 new proof-of-stake network expects to use around 99.95% less energy. Naturally, the public is restless for the release of Ethereum 2.0, not only to bring down energy, but also to increase transactional throughput so that more volume can be alive on the Ethereum network, but also so that the fees will come down to reasonable levels, allowing for scale, not only of Ethereum, but of the projects that are built on the back of it. As it could be the inflection point that takes blockchain technology to the mainstream. However, Vitalik Buterin admits in his recent interview that building Ethereum 2.0 has taken many times longer than he had anticipated, he said. We thought it would take 1 year to do the proof of stake, but it actually takes 6 years. So what's causing the delay? Internal conflicts have been hammering the project, according to Buterin. Interesting. One of the biggest problems I found with our project is not the technical problems. It's related with people. We have a lot of internal team conflicts in these 5 years. And I am completely speculating here, so don't get me wrong. This I'm not aware of, but this is something that I've seen happen in many companies, many human-run organizations, which are all of them, isn't it? Engineers tend not to be the best team leaders. Vitalik Buterin is an engineer. He's not necessarily the most social person in the world. The way that an organization functions, the culture starts at the top. The more socially intelligent the founder and the CEO and the leader of an organization is, typically the better an organization will run. That is not me attacking Vitalik Buterin in the slightest. I think he is a very intelligent man. We all have our strengths and we all have our weaknesses. I don't know if that's what's causing this, but it might be, and it's something that we should consider when we're thinking about the development team behind Ethereum. This is the kind of thing that you need to look at when you're looking at the development team behind ICOs, behind Ethereum, behind anything, is what does the team look like? What is the founder? Because these are companies. As a CEO of a team with 14 people, I can tell you the culture of an organization is one of the most important things that will determine its success. It's not its technology, it's the culture that the people work in. Anyway, that seems tangential, but it's actually pretty important for understanding the background of Ethereum. Ethereum saw many shakeups in the team, with 7 co-founders leaving the project, and Buterin is the only founder remaining in the project, which means no matter what his title is, he definitely has the most... He has the most gravitas in that team. In the same interview, Buterin shared the biggest people lesson he learned. If you're building a team, it is important to know who you're working with. He's absolutely right. Guys, you already know why Ethereum needs proof of stake, but I wanted to go ahead and bring that to your attention, that this might be one of the reasons why proof of stake is struggling to launch. Might be because of some internal conflicts. You see this happen all the time in business. It's something that hopefully the decentralized nature of Ethereum and other cryptocurrencies can seek to improve. Let's see what chat's saying about that.
Yeah, no, I mean, some people are saying like, oh, Ethereum's gonna be left behind. I think it's a dangerous game to say because Ethereum 2.0 is being delayed again. As frustrating as that is, to say they're gonna be left behind, it's still very large project. It's still, I mean, if I go back to the market cap on it, I mean, obviously sitting well behind Bitcoin, but again, the person that comes closest to it, which would be Tether at this point, the market cap for Ethereum is sitting right below 300 billion, excuse me. Sorry, I misspoke there. Versus Tether is 62 billion. You got Binance Coin at 55 billion, Cardano at 50, Doge at 43. There's just not anyone right now challenging it to that level. Doesn't mean that could change, but ultimately, as we just said, right now the entire crypto market is down, so that's why Ethereum is really struggling. And I think the entire crypto market's about to see a boost, which would include Ethereum, as well as the fact that institutions, love them or hate them, do love Ethereum. I mean, if you love institutions or not, they do love Ethereum. They're going to be behind it. They see the future long term. As Jeb said, Buterin might not be the most social person, but he is genius. There are a lot of people who back genius people. And not to take away from any other person that created any other coin, if you created a coin that is in the top 100 on CoinMarketCap, you are probably brilliant. Even the Dogecoin creator, as much as we jokingly give him hard times, I bet you the guy that created Dogecoin, I don't know his name, I bet you I would love to sit in a room with him and just chew his brain as to how he came to his conclusions. So again, before we start doomsday talking about the doomsday of Ethereum, let's give it a little time. It is frustrating.
No, guys, look, this team right here, there's all kinds of issues in the way that this team operates every single day. You can find dozens of them if you walk into this office. That's the nature of an organization. That is not me in any way sliding against the Ethereum development team. I think Ethereum has done a fantastic job, especially considering how young Vitalik Buterin is. So don't take that as a slide against Buterin. I have a lot of respect for the man, and I'd love to sit down and talk to him at some point. We're going to go ahead and move on to Cardano because we have some Alonzo news that I'm sure you guys are interested in. Cardano Alonzo smart contracts platform testnet launches. Input Output Hong Kong, which I believe is now called Input Output Global, has launched the testnet for Cardano Alonzo smart contract platform and revealed its rollout plan. The Cardano project unveiled the plan for the rollout of its new smart contracts on May the 27th. This is not so much of a new article, but it is something that we haven't talked about on the channel yet, so I want to bring it to your attention for anyone who likes Cardano. Called Alonzo, the first testnet for the platform has already been launched. One of the project's associate entities, Input Output Hong Kong, IOHK, made the announcement. The launch of Alonzo will take place in multiple phases, with each phase being identified by a color. The current phase, blue, will be succeeded by Alonzo white and Alonzo purple. IOHK also said that it began it has already begun onboarding a small select group of SPOs and Plutus pioneers to help lay the foundations. Alonzo is a hard fork that will introduce new features of the Cardano network, predominantly integration of Plutus scripts, which means smart contracts can be enabled on the Cardano network. This is a big deal because anyone who knows what's going on with Cardano knows that one of their major use cases is something called DID, decentralized identification. In the first world, we don't really have to think about our identification very much. We have our driver's license, we have our social security number, boom. We walk into a bank, we want to open an account, it's just as simple as finding some paperwork, right? It's not like that in all parts of the world, and if you don't have identification to prove who you are, then it's almost like 24/7 you've had your identity stolen because you don't have one. So you run into the same problems that someone who has had their identity compromised runs into every single day of your life because that foundational infrastructure of a society is not in place. Cardano is attempting to put that in place. Smart contracts are a part of that, but they're actually not totally integral to it. They've already started moving in that direction, but smart contracts will allow Cardano to compete with other major smart contracts platforms, such as Ethereum. It's one of the reasons why people think that Cardano might be overtaking Ethereum in the long run. I don't know if I necessarily hold that position, but that is a widely held position in the cryptocurrency space. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. I know that Alonzo is something that people have been looking forward to, and just know that it is now in the process of rolling out. Pretty big deal for anyone holding Cardano. Let's go ahead and look at chat for a second, and then we have some more news to go into about Solana.
Yeah, I'm copy and pasting a super chat so we do not lose it. Yeah, somebody said, let's see, going on here. You know, it's a complicated job to not only co-host but to read the chat and make sure we got all the questions. It's fun though. You know, it's fun. Just please don't get mad at me if I miss your question. A super chat that was asked a little bit ago. Aaron Seacrest said, "Happy." I don't know if I really. Thank you for the donation, but I don't like when someone calls Jeb Daddy. So happy Daddy Jeb is here. Never spend your hard-earned money and go on vacation again. LOL. Ultimately, Aaron, we know that's love. He needs to take vacations from time to time. We all need to take vacations from time to time. But we're glad to have him back for sure. And
glad to be back.
Hopefully we have him back for a long time before he takes another vacation.
I'm glad to be back. Actually, I'm going out of town next week. I'm sorry. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking.
You scared the poop out of me right there for a second. All right. Next super chat we have from Maxwell Steele. He said, "Hey, Jeb, first super chat ever. Come on.
Let's go.
What are your thoughts on exchanging one crypto to another via the Exodus phone wallet?"
Never used it. I've never used the Exodus phone wallet. I've been using Exodus wallet since like day 2 of my cryptocurrency endeavors. Check what the fees are. If the fees are relatively decent, then do it. You know, I believe very strongly in the Exodus project. Now, I don't have firsthand experience with the phone app. I don't personally like holding cryptocurrency on my phone because if my phone like jumps off a bridge or something, totally would never do that. Then there goes my cryptocurrency. That's why I don't personally use phone wallets. But if you're using one, I think Exodus is a great platform so long as the fees are doable, then I think it's a good idea. Someone said try singing country, Jeb. Not on stream, but of all the genres, I'm probably the best at singing country because of my accent. Let's see here. What else we got? I'm gonna answer maybe another question.
Someone asked, and again, this is something we might have talked about at the end of the show, but he asked, "Is there a chance Bitcoin gets back down to 20,000?"
Yeah, so we are going to go ahead and talk about that a little bit later. We're gonna have time here in this show, so we're going to go ahead and do that a little bit later. Yeah, so guys, here's the deal. If you were enjoying today's stream, make sure to hit that like button. Guys, we've got 2,000 people in chat and only 558 likes. Let's see if we can't pump those likes up to 1,000 before the stream's over. And by the way, if you are new here, you should subscribe to the channel, and I'll tell you exactly why. Yeah. We're a channel that values integrity. We value teaching you what you need to know so that you can go and become successful in the cryptocurrency market for your sake. Notice I said you a lot there. This is not about us. We are simply servants of you so that we can make your journey here in cryptocurrency as smooth and easy and as pleasurable as possible. If that's something you would like to be a part of, then make sure to hit that subscribe button. And by the way, you can follow us on social media at CryptoJeb on Instagram and Twitter. And you can follow us over on TikTok where we have a new video coming out today that is pretty funny. That is at CryptoJeb Official. You're not going to want to miss that. Let's go ahead and talk about Solana.
Solana, yeah. Because there's been a lot of questions there that we're going to answer some of those right now. So pay attention.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and do it, guys. Somebody said something about a country rapper. You know what you get when you combine country and rap? Crap. That's what you get. Don't try it. It's not a very good combination. Anyway, Solana-based Oxygen taps jump trading in bid to be DeFi's top prime brokerage. I'll be honest with you. Maybe I'm just stupid, but that That title didn't make any sense to me, but I'll break this down pretty quickly for you. Solana-based Oxygen is attempting to make investing in DeFi projects a lot easier. Tim used the analogy earlier that it's trying to become the Robinhood of cryptocurrency.
I think the article says that, actually.
I think it probably does.
Yeah.
It's trying to become the Robinhood of cryptocurrency. So let's go ahead and read this. Oxygen, a kind of decentralized finance brokerage built on the high-throughput Solana blockchain, which we'll talk about proof of history here in just a second, has added Chicago-based Jump Trading as a strategic partner. Jump joins a stout group of existing supporters on the platform, which includes Sam Bankman-Fried's, that's an interesting name, Alameda Research, Multicoin Capital, and Genesis Trading. Am I the only person that knows how to say Alameda because of Mythbusters? I don't know. I'm probably not. Owned by CoinDesk parent company Digital Currency Group, the firms backed Oxygen in a $40 million fundraiser earlier this year. That is a lot of startup capital for a cryptocurrency project. Oxygen aims to do for DeFi what Robinhood has done for stocks, but with transactions handled and settled natively on the 50,000 ticks per second Solana blockchain and using the Serum decentralized exchange. This is a big deal for anyone who is interested in investing in DeFi projects and protocols. We will keep you guys updated on this as more developments come out. I'm not going to go into too much detail right now because this is in the early stages, but it is something that you're going to want to pay attention to. If you'd like to read more, you are welcome to. This is the name of the article over on CoinDesk. But we want to go ahead and talk a little bit more about Solana, because Solana raises $314 million in token sale led by A16Z and Polychain. Solana Labs, and we're going to talk about what Solana is here in just a second and how it works, has raised $314 million from top crypto firms in a token sale that supercharges plans to build an expansive DeFi ecosystem atop the Solana blockchain. Andreessen Horowitz and Polychain Capital led the private token sale with participation from CMS Holding, CoinFund, Parify, and others. Sam Bankman-Fried's venture firm Alameda Research, which we just saw a little bit about, a major backer of Project Serum, one of the most popular decentralized exchanges on Solana, has also joined the round. The raise, which Decrypt hinted last week was coming, raises among the largest token sales for a blockchain protocol in recent memory. Though a handful of projects have crossed the $200 million mark, they seldom bank as much as Solana has done with one single round. This is a big deal because as we see the cryptocurrency market continuing to develop, the seed funding of different projects is going to continue to grow as investors see potential continue to rise. This is one of the fundamental metrics that we want to be looking at for the growth of cryptocurrency. I'm actually more interested in how much money they raised than the project right now, even though the project is very good, and we're going to talk about its background consensus mechanism called proof of history here in just a little bit, but I'm very interested to see how much money is able to be raised. Could you think 5 years ago if some of these projects would have raised $314 million, it would have been front page news, but now it's buried in Yahoo Finance. That is because of the long-term development and appreciation of the Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency ecosystem, and that's something that we would be remiss to forget. Let's go ahead and talk about proof of history a little bit, though, because this is an entirely different method of consensus, and I will be the first to admit that I am far from a blockchain expert, and I'm definitely not a consensus algorithm expert. I can explain it on a 30,000-foot perspective for new people to the cryptocurrency space, so please forgive me if I am not the best at explaining this. Any of our blockchain devs in the comments and the chat are more than welcome to weigh in. Proof of history, a clock for blockchain. The high-level expectation of Solana's core innovation. Proof of history, the backbone of Solana, a clock before consensus. This is an article that I'm not going to read in its full, but it is an article that you should definitely read so that you understand how this works. It's a foundational piece of knowledge, and it is pretty useful. Proof of history, a clock for blockchain. It is residing over here on Medium with Solana Labs' page. Solana is the most performant permissionless blockchain in the world. On current iterations of the Solana testnet, a network of 200 physically distinct nodes supports a sustained throughput of more than 50,000 transactions per second while running with GPUs, not even ASICs. That's interesting. Achieving as such requires the implementation of several optimizations and new technologies, and the result is a breakthrough in network capacity that signals a new phase in blockchain development. There are 8 core innovations that I am definitely not going to go over because I will butcher them that make Solana network possible. Proof of history, a clock before consensus, Tower BFT, Turbine, Gulfstream, sea level, pipelining, Cloudbreak, and replicators, and I'm going to leave it at that because I don't want to step on the blockchain devs' toes. That's a wily bunch right there. You don't want to mess with them. Phone, you've got to be quiet. I'm sorry, okay, jeez, I'm sorry. Can you mute that if you don't mind? I
don't know Androids. I don't...
It's a freaking, Roblox phone. How do we...
It's a Roblox phone. Dang. You know Roblox went public for like $1 billion? That's a compliment right there.
I don't know how to silence this, but I have a better solution.
If you just throw it out there, He just threw my phone across the office. That works too.
I slid it.
Yeah,
I was
okay.
careful.
It's durable. It's got a case, and it's durable because it's an Android. Ugh, all these Apple fanboys out here. Anyway, moving on. One of the most difficult problems in distributed systems is agreement on time. Consensus of time is very important. In fact, some argue that Bitcoin's proof of work algorithm most essential feature is functioning as a decentralized clock for the system. At Solana, we believe proof of history provides this solution, and we built a blockchain around it. Decentralized networks have solved this problem of trusted centralized timing solutions. Notice the word centralized. They're attempting to make this decentralized. For example, Google's Spanner uses synchronized atomic clocks between its data centers. Google's engineers synchronize these clocks to a very high precision and constantly maintain them. The problem is even harder in adversarial situations and systems that are competitive, like blockchain, mining, and proof of stake. Nodes in the network can't be trusted as an external source of time or any timestamp that appears in a message. Hashgraph, for example, solves this problem with a median timestamp, but they move a different route. What if you could simply trust the timestamp that is encoded into the message? An enormous wealth of distributed systems optimizations would suddenly be at your disposal. Essentially what they are saying is they're trying to find a way to decentralize one of the core aspects of blocks in the mining process or the staking process, the consensus process, to optimize the entire flow of the network so that more transactions are possible and so that it remains decentralized. That's how I'm going to summarize this, so that I don't piss off those blockchain devs. I'm joking. I know the blockchain devs out there are very nice people and wouldn't do that. Let's go ahead and read what chat's saying about that.
No, I mean, at the moment, there's a little bit of conversation about Androids versus Apple.
I figured that would happen.
Here's the thing, guys. Apple's just, it's better. Smay and I agree on that. We formed an alliance, so you have to agree.
No, so what I was going to say is, and this is Bitcoin talking, by the way. What I was going to say is, guys, that I think Apple is better just because even the privacy features, guys, I'd rather not be tracked by everything in the world to track me.
Come on.
Versus Apple's privacy features are really like A+1 awesome. They're even, they initially were taking hits to their money to be able to do this. So I think it's very consumer.
Oh, poor Apple and their $250 billion of
It's
cash
very
on hand.
consumer conscious, and I love it. I think it's a great thing that Android should probably try and stop making plastic phones at AT&T.
Dang. Shots fired. Okay.
Yeah. No, it's just straight facts.
Oh,
it's
okay.
straight facts. That
Okay,
Apple
well,
is
hey,
better,
guys, I have a
so.
lot of respect for Apple, and actually, I don't really have anything in favor of Android. I've just always used it, so
Every
maybe you're
person,
right.
every person I've ever met that backs Android has phone problems. So I've
I
never.
have zero phone problems.
Your phone has gone off in the stream multiple times.
That's a problem of the phone?
Bro,
That's a problem with me.
can I show you something? Literally, whenever you have to mute your phone, you go bleep, bloop, bleep, bloop, bleep, bloop, bleep, versus I just have to
I
go
have a little button
click.
right here on the side.
Click.
Silenced.
Well.
Silenced. Anyway,
Well.
I think what's even more important, and this is before we get back to the important details, is people are noticing, Jeb, if you shave your beard into a goatee, you
They
would
said
look
I
like Snowden. Yeah, that's interesting.
I'm never going to shave into a goatee again then. I used to wear a goatee. That sounded like a slight against Snowden. It definitely wasn't. Don't take that the wrong way. We have a couple of super chats
We do
here.
have super chats, so I want to
Super
work through them because we
googly-lee-lee-lee.
have a decent amount.
I think super
we have.
googly-lee-lee
What
is
is
the
what is
first
the
one.
currency that starts with HK? I don't even know.
Hong Kong dollars.
Hong Kong. So we have 158 Hong Kong dollars.
That comes to about 20 US dollars, I believe.
Come on, that's still awesome.
Yeah, thank
he
you so
says,
much.
say if you are still working, if you could retire now for a frugal life by selling half of your Bitcoin, or okay, let me back up. If you were still working, if you could retire now for the frugal life by selling half of your Bitcoin, or would you choose to keep working for 4 more years and retire really rich, assuming cycle continues the same way?
So I don't look at it as a matter of retiring rich. I look at it as a matter of retiring safe and secure and at peace. I don't ever plan on retiring, so it's hard for me to say from my perspective. The way I view retirement is, if you feel like you have to retire, then you're probably in the wrong career. Now that's not everybody. That's just me. But I don't plan on personally retiring. If I were you, I would definitely work another 4 years. But I'm 20, so that doesn't sound like a long time to me. But
yeah, when you
might be
do
in
what
your
you
position.
love, you don't have to retire.
Yeah, seriously.
All right. Other questions. We have from Corey. He says, I would love, oh, this is a great question. I would love to try your course, but I work a full-time job, not sure if it's manageable. I can answer this one because, Corey, I work a full-time job. In fact, actually, I probably work closer to the 60 hours a week. So I started taking CT2A back in March, and I kept telling myself, just so you guys know, even though I've been taking it since March, I piddled with it for a long time. I just got really serious about a month ago, and now not only have I finished, I'm almost back through it a second time, because once you get going, first of all, if you sit down and commit your time to it, because ultimately every person has time. It's what do we think is important. If you think trading is important and if you think investing in yourself is important, then the time will come. And that's what I had to eventually come to that realization. But even that, what's great is that like literally now that I've gone through the whole thing, I don't have to watch every second of every video. I can go back to the videos I want to learn more information about. That's why I was so big about Fibonacci over the last day, because I went back, I saw questions about it. I went back, did my research, skimmed through the video, learned everything I need. I went and applied it. It is phenomenal. You have time. The question is, where's the time in the day you can? I saw in chat a lot of people said, "Oh man, I work a full-time job. I was able to get through it." Trust me, you will not regret taking that spare time, that free time, and doing it. Also, I mean, I also might have a cheat code that other people don't have. I have an innate ability, and this is pretty special. I can listen to Jeb in 2x speed and fully understand what he's saying. Maybe some of you cannot do that. If you can, you're special too. It is a hard task, but I do call that, I think that's one of my greatest abilities in life, actually, is being able to listen to Jeb in 2x speed. But ultimately, we make time for the things that we think are important. If you are serious about trading, if you're serious about investing, use time you have, and then you will not regret it later, and it'll make the rest of your trading experience so much easier.
So, Corey, I have a great answer to that also, real quick. I built the course for that reason. Let that sink in. The whole reason I made the course was for people in your position. It took me thousands of hours over the course of many, many, many months, years. I mean, I'm still learning today, but to get to the point where I was proficient enough that I could teach it took me a couple of years, several hours a day, every single day, 7 days a week. I made a YouTube video every single day, and there was research that went into it. It took me a very long time to learn it. If I had had a full-time job, it wouldn't have happened. The reason I made CT2A was to condense that time frame. What I'm selling you is CT2A, because I am trying to sell you something, but not for my sake, for yours. What I'm selling you is not information. I'm selling you time, because you can learn all of this stuff on your own, but I can give you a shortcut. I can help you figure out what you need to know that you don't already know to ask the question for. And that's why CT2A is valuable. It's not because you can't learn what a Fibonacci level is on your own. Now, the wisdom that I teach in the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy, you're probably not going to find anywhere else other than through a very long time of doing it on your own. And of course, experience matters. The reason we made this was to shorten and to condense those time frames. So that's exactly why it is in existence in the first place. Because if you don't take CT2A, you have 12 hours of content over here, or a couple thousand hours of content trying to learn it the hard way. That's why it's valuable. We also have another super chat from Misty that said, Integrity 100, keep it 100. Thank you so much. Appreciate that, Misty.
Yep. The last one we have here is, well, there's a reason that Jeb is both your bosses, and that's because he has an Android. I don't think that's the reason.
I don't think that's why.
That's not the reason. I will give you that Jeb is intelligent, but Jeb is intelligent despite his Android, not because of it.
Yeah, you want to know the reason why he's both our bosses? Because he hired us. That's how that works.
That is how that works. Yeah,
that's deep.
TZ said Jeb is not 20. My birth certificate begs to differ.
Yeah,
wherever
he is 20.
I am indeed 20. Yeah. So guys, we are probably going to do a little bit of Bitcoin technical analysis now because we have time left over. Let's go ahead and do it, guys. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. If you're here from around the blockchain, welcome to our show. Welcome to our show. We're so very thankful to have you. Welcome to our show. That's from something. I don't know what it's from. Either way, we have some technical analysis to do, so let's go ahead and do it. Bitcoin jumped off a cliff 6 months ago. 6 months ago, 2 months ago, and you guys have been very concerned about it. The whole cryptocurrency space has been in a big old kerfuffle. This is something I talked about in Around the Blockchain just a couple of days ago when I was there on Tuesday. I talked about how one of the biggest problems with cryptocurrency right now is that we build the price on hype and then we crash the price on FUD. We keep building the price and crashing the price based on other people's opinions while we are not paying attention to the facts, like El Salvador adopting Bitcoin for 6.5 million people. Now, El Salvador is not the biggest country in the world, but the precedent that sets changes the game for cryptocurrency, and people just don't realize that. If they realized how important that was, the price would have jumped $20,000 the minute that launched, the minute that was announced, and it didn't. But that's okay. That means that we are able to buy in low. Here's what I'm seeing on Bitcoin. As you can see, Tim drew this yesterday. We have a consolidation pattern going on right here. Bitcoin broke bearish out of it and pulled back down to that $31,000 level. It bottomed out down there, and that indicates that Bitcoin is able to trade sideways right now. Now, yes, we are in a symmetrical triangle pattern. Yes, we did move bearish into this, so yes, that does predict a downwards movement. We just saw an attempt. That attempt failed. We had a very long lower shadow. That means the bears tried and the bears failed. Generally speaking, when a war is happening and one side makes progress and then they lose that progress, they just lost some of their forces. They just lost some of their confidence. They just lost some of their morale. What makes you think the next time they're going to manage to push through? Now, it's different if that force pushes and then they try it for like 10 times and then they finally get through. That means they have confidence. That would look like Bitcoin testing $31,000 5, 6, 7, 8 times. When it's only tested it twice and we have a long lower shadow right here on 2 days ago's candlestick on Tuesday, June the 8th, that indicates to me that the bears are not as strong as some people think they are. Right now, we're below something called the 20 daily EMA on Bitcoin. We're right below it. This is our resistance level. The 20 daily exponential moving average is something we have an entire video dedicated to in the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy. During uptrends, we stay above it. During downtrends, we stay below it. The reason it's valuable is because which side of it you are on, generally speaking, determines the trend that you are in. So if you're below it, typically you're in a downtrend. If you're above it, typically you're in an uptrend. It's just a perfect number to follow the market. And right now we're below it, but we're right below it. We're very close to being able to break above it. Notice here we have a spinning top formation. That indicates indecision. We are still sideways. Just because the bears aren't quite as strong as people make them out to be, as people make them out to be, doesn't mean that they're weak. Right now, the bulls and the bears are very evenly matched. That's why we have a long upper shadow and a long lower shadow and a small body right here. Here's what we need to see. We need to see Bitcoin over the next 2 days in which direction it moves. If from this spinning top we start moving to the upside and we break the 20 daily EMA, good. We're probably going to go into a rally. If we start moving to the downside again, good. For the short people, the people that are trying, the people in the short trades. I'm not trying to knock on the little guy, if you will, but for the people that are trying to invest, that would be very good for you. Anyone who wants to make a long trade, yeah, breaking bullish, cool. You got a long entry. Go ahead and take it if you think it's wise. If it breaks bearish, cool. If you're an investor, you have money to make. By the way, all of you guys are probably a little bit trader, a little bit investor. It's very rare that you see someone just be an investor and never do trading. It's very rare you see someone just trade and never do investing. So both of these present themselves as opportunities for you, no matter which direction the market goes. That is one of the foundational reasons why we don't need to be worried about emotion, why we don't need to let it control us, because no matter what the market does, there's money to be made in it. You don't lose money until you realize it. That happens when you sell. So if you don't sell, you haven't lost money. That's not to say that you should hodl down to zero, but we don't think that's going to happen based on fundamentals. Here's my take on Bitcoin, and I'll wrap this all up into a nice, neat bow for you. It's in a spinning top right now. It is indecisive. There's strong support below it and strong resistance above it. Which direction we move over the next 3 days is likely to be determinant of what the next couple of weeks are going to look like on Bitcoin. We'll leave it at that. Let's go ahead and read chat here for a little bit to wrap out the stream.
Yeah, no, first of all, I just want to say, stay on your screen real quick.
Okay.
And people just follow with me. Last week, again, am I a TA expert? No, I am not. But last week, when I was doing technical analysis, I told people that A, it was either going to break bullish out of that resistance and go up, which is what I predicted was going to happen, which is why my Friday prediction is going to probably be wrong. But ultimately, I said it's going to be one of two things. Go up and hit it set on 42, or it was going to drop down and bounce off of 30 and bounce back up. Now, I think it's going to finish that little bounce, continue. We just hit our head on that level of resistance, that descending level of resistance, so that makes sense. But ultimately, if it ends up breaking that resistance and going out to 42, I want to say that's exactly what I said was going to happen a week ago. So that's just something to pay attention to. But as far as going back to chat, we just got a new super chat. And we have one more to get to read.
That is one touchdown, Tim. You got to get 8 more.
One touchdown. Okay, good. I'm working on it.
You're on the board.
I'm getting my legs underneath me.
Yep.
He says, this is from Pedro Perez. He says, PDX on PancakeSwap is going to the moon. And then I think that's I don't even know. I don't even know what that is.
That is a wallet address.
It's a wallet address? Okay. So is he telling us to send it to his wallet?
I have no idea. We also have a super chat a little bit higher than his.
And that's what I had a little bit ago. Navasa. He said, how long does the CryptoJeb crew spend on average doing technical analysis? And what are the preferred indicators? How many indicators do you use at the same time? Very, very good question.
Yeah, good question. So how long does the CryptoJeb crew spend on average doing TA? That's a question for Tim because he's the one that's in charge of that crew. Yeah. Probably not a lot because I'm still the resident TA expert. Tim and some of our team are trying to learn technical analysis and get caught up to speed so they're able to offload some of that.
Yes.
I personally spend not that long on technical analysis. What? Jeb, you imposter. Here's the deal. I've been doing technical analysis every single day for the last 4 years. It doesn't take that long anymore. I can kind of look at a chart, and I have something called chart vision. Any of you guys that have been doing this for a while know exactly what I'm talking about. I can look at a chart, and then I just kind of see what's happening. a lot of times the technical analysis that you're seeing me do in these videos, I am doing in that moment, or I'm basing it off of something else I realized in a video. You guys got to realize the best way to learn is to teach. So I actually learn the most about technical analysis when I'm presenting it to you guys. That's one of the reasons I love doing this show, is because it allows me to hone my craft while also helping you to do the same. There's a concept in Japanese called the sensei. They are the master and the teacher. And now I would not consider myself a master just yet, but I am trying to become a master partially through teaching. So the amount of time I spend on technical analysis every day is probably 30 minutes to an hour, if that. And the reason is because I'm able to get it all done in that time. That's my take on that.
Yeah, no,
and how many indicators do I use? Roughly about 10. I try not to overcomplicate it.
I'm going to have a slight spoiler for you guys. So we probably aren't going to talk about this often, but if you're watching this stream now, you're going to get a spoiler for things that we are working on potentially in the future. I actually was talking just yesterday with a guy on staff about what we want to do with CT2A in the future and how we want to help educate you guys even better. And that is by potentially starting a whole program where you can have tutors and have people go through the course with you, showing you step for step.
Yep.
So as far as my team going through CT2A, right now I'm going through CT2A. We have a guy, Greg. You guys have met Greg. He's going through CT2A. Dasa's gone through CT2A. Caleb's going through CT2A. Ultimately, I want our entire team to go through CT2A, but I want a certain amount of us, probably 5 to 6 of us, to go deep. And not that we'll ever be as good as Jeb, because obviously as we get better, Jeb's going to get better. But we want to be able to start a whole program where we actually help tutor you guys and give you guys hands-on training in that. So if that's something you're excited about, look forward to that happening in the upcoming couple of months. But ultimately, YTA, because we saw another super chat that said, I took CT2A to learn the technicals, but realized I'm an investor and just do DCA. I sleep better this way. Here's the thing, John. I talked about this a little bit yesterday on the stream. We were talking about the Wyckoff distribution. A lot of people comment like, oh, Tim, your phase is behind. We're actually in the accumulation phase right now. Here's the thing. We will talk more about Wyckoff. That's not even what mainly I want to talk about, other than the fact is that the Wyckoff distribution was originally created, every single phase of it was created by someone who realized that institutions who understand how to read technicals and understand that retail investors and traders don't know how to read technicals, they find ways to manipulate the market, so knowing that you're not going to know what's happening next, so that they can make as much profit at your expense. Here is the way you combat that. When you can read the technical analysis for yourself, when you can look at the charts, when you can look at the indicators, when you can take all that information and combine it with the fundamental analysis that you're doing, that is when you will be the most powerful trader and the most dangerous threat to institutional power over these markets. So why am I so big on CT2A? Why am I so big on technical analysis, and why we are so big on you guys knowing it? It's not just so that we have a business and we can make money. It's actually so that we as a people can take power back from those people who stole it from us, and we want to be the ones in control, not them.
Absolutely, guys. Let's go. Drop the mic, Tim. Guys, here's the deal. We stand for you. Every company says it. Few act it out. We try every day to act it out. If that's something you're interested in, hit the subscribe button. Guys, we're going to wrap it out here in about 5 minutes, but I'm going to open the floor for questions, and we still have to go over our price predictions, which is going to look a little bloody. I have a feeling that the Smangatan is going to win this one. He's now turned into a Bitcoin, though, so I don't really know how he's going to hold the trophy because he doesn't have any hands. But let's go ahead and let some chats accumulate, and while we're doing that, we're going to go over those price predictions. Let's see it.
Yeah, so as of right now, again, you know, when Team Smay wins, Team Tim wins, and when Team Tim wins, Team Smay wins. So ultimately, I like where we're sitting. But just in case you guys don't know the
on your desk, Tim?
Because the wood, like,
because you stole it.
You know, you hold it. You've been holding it. It's fine. It's
stole
fine.
it. He stole my trophy.
It's fine.
You got to win to have the trophy, Tim.
Where we are sitting at Bitcoin, Smay is the lowest at 40,000. I said 41,500. Jeb said 42,000. Sorry, 1,500. Jeb said 42,000. So unless we see a massive rally, I see this leaning towards Smay. Again, but we do have to wait till tomorrow 9:30 to find out. When it comes to Ethereum, I said 3,096. Smay said 3,005, and Jeb said 3,250. So again, unless we see a massive rally, I think Smay's going to win there. Cardano, I said $1.78. Smay said $2.01, and Jeb said $1.95. I do think I'll wrap up Cardano. I think I'll win there. I don't think it's quite ready to break out just yet. However, you got to win 2 to win, so I think Smay's going to win, but ultimately, due to our alliance, Smay, we're all winners.
Oh my gosh.
Hashtag burn the truck.
Dang. Wow. If for anyone who doesn't know what that means, my truck caught on fire a couple months ago, and I bought a Camry. I mentioned something in chat, and I should probably clarify why I said this so that people are not confused. Someone asked, is SafeMoon legit? And I said, no, stay away from it. So let me clarify why I said that for anyone who doesn't know. I will be brief because I know people are tired of talking about SafeMoon. SafeMoon was built explicitly to bring in investors, get them stuck in the project, cause the price to moonshot, and allow the early adopters to make profit off of it at the expense of the people that bought in later. It is a decentralized Ponzi scheme, and it is not something that's going to make you very much money. In fact, I think it is morally reprehensible, and I am very much against any project that attempts the same model that they have, because it allows people that really do understand blockchain technology to take advantage of people that are newer to the cryptocurrency space, and that is something that I cannot endorse, because I care about you guys, and I don't want you guys getting wrecked because you got into something that you don't understand. Now, there are people that don't agree with me on that, but that is my take. Let's see what else chat's saying.
Here.
What platform would you recommend for shorting? I have a platform for you. It's called Bybit. It's actually one of the sponsors of our channel. It's an affiliate link, and if you would like to sign up, the link's in the description. Let me tell you why you might want to do that. Bybit is the largest, best cryptocurrency exchange for leverage trading that also allows shorting. If you're looking to short the market, if you're looking to use leverage, Bybit is the one and only place that you should really be considering. If you're newer to the cryptocurrency space, I am not talking to you right now, because leverage trading is for people that really know what they're doing. They've been here for a while. Leverage trading is going to amplify whatever you're capable of. It's not going to make you a better trader. If you're bad at trading and you can't make a profit, we've all been there. Leverage trading is just going to make that worse for you. But if you've already proven yourself to be a profitable trader, leverage trading will make you a more profitable trader, ideally, because it will multiply the amount of money that you're able to make. There are risks involved, and you have to understand those, but if you are ready for that challenge, as many of you guys are, then I would encourage you to sign up with the link in the description box down below. It helps our channel immensely, and we're very thankful for everyone who has done that.
Polvito said really quickly, can you tell them the risks of shorting in a brief, or is that too long to explain?
Sure, yeah, no, the risks of shorting are this. The market can reverse. That's the risk of trading in general. If you short a market, essentially what you're doing is you're selling high, buying low, and then covering what you sold. You're borrowing somebody's $1,000 or one Bitcoin. You're selling it for $1,000. You buy it back in at $800. Then you give them their Bitcoin back and you profit that $200 difference. That's what shorting is. It is the exact inverse of longing, which is buying the market, selling it later. There are always going to be risks involved with trading. Shorting has the exact same but opposite risks of longing. It's not any more risky than longing, but it is obviously going to be risky. Put it that way.
Real quick, we are 25 likes away from 1,000. If you guys get us to 1,000 likes, real quick, I need 25 likes. Hit them right now. We have not seen Smay this entire video, and I know that makes a lot of you guys sad. If you want to see Smay's face before we leave, hit that like button.
Sadatan.
We will close it out. We'll even let Smay close the stream out.
Oh,
because
okay.
he is, he's very passionate about doing that from now on, especially on Tim and Smay takeovers.
Okay. Well, in that case, we can let Smay close the stream out.
We hit 1,000.
We hit 1,000.
Well, do you want to give your take, and then we'll let Smay close it out?
My take on what?
Your close real quick, and then we'll just close with Smay.
But before we go, guys, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.